Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mac Outdoors with Mia and Leah. It has been a while, so we're going to catch you up on some of our latest news. Stay tuned.
This summer, whether you're at the range or in the field, WSI Sports' Hypertech bamboo tanks, tees, and leggings will have you covered. Visit WSISports.com and use Leah's affiliate code, LLCO10 for 10% off your purchase. All products are proudly made in the USA. WSI is bringing back pride in American-made clothing. Again, that code is LLCO10 for 10% off your order at WSISports.com.
Hey, this is Lloyd Bailey, the Armed Lutheran, host of the Armed Lutheran Radio podcast, reminding you that the podcast you're listening to is a proud member of the Self-Defense Radio Network. Check out all the great content at selfdefenseradio.net.
Hey guys, welcome back. We're happy that you are listening to us today, and we're thankful that you are here supporting us. We've been gone a while, as Leah mentioned, and we have a lot of stuff that has been going on in the past month or so we definitely need to share that with you today. Leah, do you want to tell anybody about what's been happening?
So, as you all know, we've been absent for quite a while, but that was due to an unfortunate injury that I had, and I had to go home for about a month and deal with doctors and have x-rays and MRIs on my lower backs because I had 4 herniated discs in my back, which I think we've mentioned before, but they got much worse, and so I had to take a break from Montana, go back to Colorado, and heal up, and now I am back and in PT and getting better than ever, so I'm super glad for that, but I'm super bummed that we have not been sharing some of the awesome stuff that's been happening while I have been injured.
Yeah, and we definitely will be catching you guys up in the next few episodes. We've got, like Leah said, a lot to share. So stay tuned for that. But today, Leah, for those listeners maybe that haven't been listening to all the episodes in the past, can you tell them a little history of your injury and kind of how you got hurt or what caused the bulging discs?
So there's a lot that happened for me to get this injury. I played basketball in high school, which they say is a non-contact sport, but unfortunately it is definitely a contact sport, whether we like it or not, and I got a few hard hits in those days, and I also injured my knee. So that was a lead up to this injury, as well as getting bucked off a horse and many other things that were a hard impact. And it was diagnosed last year, and I have been doing physical therapy and going to the chiropractor, massage, certain things like that. And it was doing really well. And then one day it just got a lot worse. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything. I had to be taken to the emergency room to have that checked out. And a lot of pain pills, which was not that great, but I managed to get home to Colorado to see an amazing doctor that helped me. And so now I'm on a healing path, so I'm super happy about that. So hopefully I won't ever have to deal with this injury again.
Yeah, so it was pretty dramatic for us to have this going on with Leah. Actually, we had told you that I was preparing for an elk hunt, and while I was up in the wilderness hunting, we would go up to the top of the mountain to get service every few days, and I talked to Leah, and she was really in pain, and we actually came out of the mountains so we could arrange some doctor's appointments, and then we went back in. We'll tell you more about the elk hunt in a future episode, but we actually got Leah back down to Colorado, a lot of airline tickets and stuff like that to take care of her because, unfortunately, the health care system isn't working in our favor. She has to come to Colorado for any of her treatments and doctor visits because it doesn't cover her in Montana. So we flew Leah down. She had, what did you have, Leah? Shots in your back, and then you had an ablation last summer, and we flew her down to see the doctor because she was having a lot of pain, and they scheduled her incorrectly with the what was it, a pre-op that they scheduled you with?
Yeah, they had scheduled me they scheduled me originally for the day and then said they were scheduled with the wrong doctor while I was sitting in the airport missing class. And so that was a lot of fun to deal with. So being a college student with a major injury like this was not super fun.
Yeah. And traveling for Leah really wasn't fun either. And so we get her down here. We kind of made them see her on short notice because they actually said, oh, well, sorry, we scheduled you with the wrong doctor. You'll have to come back in a couple weeks. And this is while she's sitting in the airport on a layover trying to get down here. And so the doctor, of course, saw her, and all he said is, well, maybe we'll try an ablation in a different spot. And what an ablation is basically they're burning the nerves, which really isn't fixing anything on her back. It's just masking the problem. They didn't do anything on that visit, and we flew her back. And in the meantime, I headed out on another trip that I had to go on, and Leah's still in pain. And then I received a phone call that Leah's legs weren't working. And of course, that's when she had to go to the emergency room. So we picked her up, brought her back home. This time we drove because with her legs not working, we figured we didn't know how long this was going to take and what they were going to have to do, if they were going to have to do surgery or what was going to happen. So all in all, it's not that Leah and I haven't seen each other or talked to each other. It's just we've been really, really actually very stressed. This has been a really stressful time for me, and I can't imagine how stressful for her. She had to drop a couple of classes, and fortunately, it's really lucky that a few of her teachers managed to coordinate with her a leave of absence, and then she's coming back. So that is great.
Yes, I was so thankful for all of them for helping me because I don't know what I would have done if I would have had to give up a whole semester just for this.
Yeah. And I don't know if I would say just Leah because it is a big deal. And actually, I mean, if she had to take a year off or whatever, we were willing to do that also. But we are very happy. As she said, we found a friend of ours recommended this doctor and helped us get in to see this new doctor. And it's really been a blessing because she doesn't need surgery and, treatments are going good and she's on her way to recovery. Not 100% yet. It'll take a while, but we're really pleased with how things are going. So Leah, in going through this situation, I know you've found a lot of people have bad backs, and part of why we haven't been out there saying, this is going on is because that's the first thing everybody does is says, oh, well, you should do this, you should do that. I mean, the things that we've been told, there's a bazillion of them. And really what we needed was the MRIs and the x-rays to actually show what was going on in Leah's back to know what to do. And now she's on a good plan. But Leah, what kind of things can people do to help keep their backs in good shape other than avoiding contact sports or snowboarding or horseback riding and stuff like that? I mean, we obviously want to live active lives, but what are some things we can do to keep our backs healthy?
There's a lot of things you can do. Of course, most doctors will say, don't do this, don't do that. But I think a key thing is to stay active and going hunting, hiking, walking around the mall with your friends, which I've had to do lately because I can't hike because of my injury right now. But one of the most important things to keep your back healthy is movement, which is what they told me. They said, it's been good to have a break, but now in my healing process, I have to move a lot. So I go for walks around campus and to classes and everything like that. So that's a huge thing. And I think good posture, as everyone ever says about your back. That's a really key thing. And for me, a huge one is know your limits. I know I'm someone who pushes my limits every day, all the time, and I am very stubborn when it comes to doing physical therapy, doing the exercises I've been told to do. I tend to just think, well, it doesn't really feel like it's working, so I'm not going to do it. Or I'm good enough, I'm going to just hop on this horse and end up hurting myself more, or going on a big hike that I wasn't prepared for and not being able to get out of bed the next day.
Right. That's really a big thing is with a college kid, because obviously Leah is young and wants to be active and out doing things. But I think for anybody, pacing yourself is really important, but also, knowing your limitations and being able to gradually get into that. That's one thing that we've dealt with Leah. She'll get to feeling better, and then she's out there hiking up the mountains like nothing, and then the next day her back is blown up. So you definitely, if your back is aching and sore, exercise is so important, and walking is the best thing for your body, period. But you've got to pace yourself. Don't overdo it. And that's really important. And Leah, you talked about pain pills. What kind of pain pills have you taken for your back, or have they done anything, or what do you do with those?
I actually did not really take the ones that they gave me at the emergency room. They made me very loopy, and I just wasn't a fan of it. And they didn't really seem to help anyway. And most pain pills don't. They say sometimes it's because my pain is so severe, or they just don't work. So usually what I do, I use a cream. BioFreeze is something I've learned that helps a lot. I try to stay away from pain pills altogether. I've tried some natural ones that seem kind of bogus to me. They didn't really help at all, but there are a lot of creams that I enjoy using for my back rather than taking all those things that are not very good for you.
And so definitely, if you have a bad back, go get it checked out. And this doctor that we went to this time, it's actually an actual spine doctor. The one she went to before was as well. But go to a spine doctor, and then go to a chiropractor, go to a masseuse, go to an acupuncturist, and try to figure out the whole picture instead of just one part of it. It's really important to see the whole scope of things if you can. And as her doctors and the chiropractors and everybody has said, you've got to take care of it before it's too bad, because if you wait too long, you have injuries that are going to last a lifetime. So definitely get things taken care of right away.
Yes, I'm so thankful I caught this when I did, and am working hard to make sure it doesn't happen again, and I can get back to doing the things I love to do that I haven't been able to do in a year. So I am so hopeful and ready to get back to all of that.
Definitely. Well, we hope that you guys will tune in again, and we'll try to get back on our regular schedule, and we hope that you understand what's been going on and why it's been difficult for us to get in podcast mode. But we do have a lot of tips and stuff to share with you, so please stay tuned for the next episode.
Thank you all so much for your continued support for our podcast. We hope that if you are new, you subscribe and check out some of our previous episodes, and make sure to listen to upcoming ones to hear all our crazy fun adventures from this fall. And we will see you next time.